Hey everyone, it's Grayson the Goosebumps Kid here. Welcome back to another Goosebumps book review. Today, we'll be taking a look at a Series 2000 book. And first of all, I want to wish everyone a happy Halloween. I know I wasn't able to get a review out yesterday. I just was busy, but I was able to get one out the day after. So hopefully this is all right. Hope y'all had a great Halloween. I know I did. Didn't go trick-or-treating, but I did get a lot of candy. Anyway. The book we're going to be talking about today is a Halloween-themed book, mostly, but it's like a werewolf book. This book is number 22 in the Series 2000 series, Full Moon Fever. I got to tell you, I was really hesitant about reading this to start with, but as time went on, I finally got around to it, and I got to say, this was definitely an enjoyable read. It's not in the best condition by all means. When I did get this, it is not in the best condition, but it was pretty good overall. And this, I think I got from Goosebumps Guru. I think he has a YouTube channel, but he also sells stuff on eBay. Anyway, Full Moon Fever from Series 2000. What is it about? Full Moon Fever has a main character and a sister, Alicia. I can't remember the main character's name off the top of my head. Let me go back to it. Robbie and Alicia. Robbie and Alicia are these two quirky young child, early teen characters, and they are very dramatic and cause some trouble around the neighborhood. They are very greedy with their parents and everything, and especially with their Halloween candy. They stuff themselves, they gain weight significantly, and they both just act the same all in all. They have this grandpa named Grandpa John who tells them stories all the time when they go and visit him. Of course, they think they're just stories. And this year for Halloween, they go over to his house again like they normally do. He tells them the story called Full Moon Fever. And it's basically about a guy that, Grandpa John met with a lady who told him about Full Moon Fever. A guy went up to a full moon one night and stared up at the moon. And immediately after that, he started getting sick, running a fever, headache, massive headache. He had to lie down, and the next morning he woke up and was a werewolf. Or a beast, rather. And he goes around the neighborhood terrorizing everybody, and she mentions the only way to cure it is going into the next full moon light and staring at it again and howling at the moon. So, of course, everybody's laughing, carrying on, stuff like that. They think it's just a great story. And that year for Halloween, Robbie and Alicia go around getting candy and stuff like that. Very greedy, like I've said before. And eventually they get up to a old lady's house that they do not like and that she doesn't like them because of the stuff that they had done to her the past couple years for Halloween. But Robbie forces Alicia to go up there with her anyway, or to go up there with him anyway to get candy because everybody else was hesitant, especially their best friend Maggie. They show up, covered up and stuff. They think she doesn't notice who it is, so she hands him a bowl of candy. She hands him some pieces of candy. They go on their merry way. They dig into their candy, eat it, all is well, all's good. But Robbie forces Alicia to come up to him and stare up at the moon. And of course, Alicia's against it, but Robbie kind of forces her to do it just to know that the story's not real. So they stare at the moon, but then immediately after they get done staring, Robbie and Alicia aren't feeling so great. So they get home, lie down. They're on their way home. Robbie and Alicia black out. We then cut to the next chapter. Robbie wakes up in his bed. All seems good, but then he sees the scratch marks and the tears in his bed with muddy paw prints. He wakes up, looks in the mirror, and realizes that he's a werewolf. Then he goes to his sister Alicia's room, finds out that she has also turned into a werewolf. They soon realize that Full Moon Fever might actually be a true story. And from that point on, they try to find a way to cure themselves. Full Moon Fever was definitely an interesting story. Once again, this is like one of those other werewolf tales that you normally see from R.L. Stine. I think Werewolf Skin was one, then we had a Werewolf in Fever Swamp. I think Werewolf in the Living Room was one, which is also a book in this series that I will cover at some point. And, of course, we have Full Moon Fever. Then I think we have another werewolf book in either Slappy World or the Horrorland books. I can't remember which one it was. But you see this done a lot with Stein, but I really think that this was definitely a good one. I love how Robbie and Alicia are... They throw you straight into the werewolf part of the story. Like, they don't wait till the very end to show everything. Like, literally, right after the exposition during the Rising... Literally, the Rising action is when they turn into a werewolf. And the whole story is about them trying to... The whole story about them is trying to find a cure. And I got to be honest, I like when they pull a whole twist on that, where you're following the monsters the whole story instead of just right towards the end of the book. The Grandpa John, I think, was a really interesting character. I liked how he joked around with Alicia and Robbie. It was very interesting to see how they interacted with each other. The Full Moon Fever story itself was definitely a different take on the werewolf theme here. And I got to tell you, the twists and turns that they take in the story have definitely been some of my favorite ones that I've seen out of Series 2000 so far. Definitely in my top 10 Series 2000 books. Definitely one of my favorite Halloween books that I've read for Goosebumps so far. Of course, besides, I think, like Haunted Mask and Still More Tales, I think this beats Still More Tales this year. Not sure if it beats the Haunted Mask or Haunted Mask 2, but yeah, it was definitely an interesting one. So, the ending to this book and how you find out to cure themselves and what really happened takes a whole twist on the entire story. And I really love how they played that, where they get your hopes rising and your other dreams falling. It was just definitely got me confused, not at some points, but it did get me confused in a couple chapters. Other than that, though, I love how R.L. Stine twists the whole story around, which I will not spoil because you guys really need to check this out for yourself. Overall, this was just a very interesting read. Love the ending. One of the funnier endings, honestly, that I've seen. And then the Robbie and Alicia's parents I thought were okay, but definitely Grandpa John and the two siblings were my favorite characters in the story. And then there were some pretty graphic scenes in here. You got Robbie biting a man on the arm after he turns into a werewolf because he gets pissed off and mad, and then there's like imagery where they're like eating worms and tearing up raccoons and dead roadkill. It was disgusting. But definitely one of the darker books in Series 2000 as well. Which I think a lot of the Series 2000 books have been darker, at least from what I've read so far. Definitely interesting. But overall, yeah, Full Moon Fever was a really solid book. Loved the writing. Did have some confusing parts. But other than that, I think this was just an amazing Series 2000 book. I believe Completionist Michael and Monster Blood or Austin read this for a Werewolf Review-a-thon. I really need to go and check their opinion on it, but I gotta tell you, definitely one of my favorite Series 2000 books so far. So that has been my review on Full Moon Fever. Very great book for Halloween time. Definitely check this out if you're looking for a Halloween book to read. If I had to rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it about a 9 to a 9.5. This was really, really good. Probably leaning more towards a 9. I don't. It's not perfect. No book is perfect in my opinion. At least most of them anyway. Nobody's perfect in life. Nothing's perfect in life. God. Ever since we sinned, nobody's perfect. We all sin. But definitely one of my top favorite Series 2000 books so far. But what is everyone's thoughts on Full Moon Fever? Gosh, I can't talk today. Let me know down in the comment section down below. Would really love to hear your thoughts on this story. Make sure to join mine and Minnesota Goosebumps fans Discord servers. I'll leave links to both of them in the description down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great Halloween, and have a great night. God bless, and bye-bye. Have a great night, everyone. Happy Halloween.